Hey friends, I'm Ayoub, and today we're going to be creating this linear inspired card in Figma. Let's start with the frame. My frame already has some circles which make it look like stars in the background, and it has this light thing here, which you can easily create using the radial gradient on any shape. So now let's create a frame inside of it. Let's make it 382 pixels from both sides. Let's add a fill color to it so we see what we are creating, and let's make the border corners, and corner radius is 24 pixels. So let's center it. Let's change the fill to be a gradient from white to white, move it up a little bit, give it a 10% opacity, add a stroke, make it white from both sides again, give it a 15% opacity, and then add an effect which has a background blur, and you can make it something like 20 in the effect. So you end up with something which looks like this. Maybe we increase the blur to be 40 instead of 20. Now let's add this yellow thing here. So I'll create another square inside. Let's make it, let's just center align it vertically and horizontally. Yeah, let's make it 16 for the radius. Let's remove the fill, let's stroke, and give it colors. So we want to go with similar colors to this. In this case, I'm just going to copy the same color code. Let's maybe make it 2 pixels, and let's make it from yellow to yellow. Yeah, make sure here it's 0 basically to give you this apex. You can move it a little bit up like this. Cool. Let's also add those cool lights here coming from the dash border. So you had to pen tool, you create a random shape, and what you can do is you can just Control C this color, Control V this, and this will give you the same effects, and then you lower the opacity to something like 50%. You can add as many as you want. In my case, I'll just duplicate the same, and I will adjust the direction of it to give me something like this, maybe even make it longer. Yeah, something like this works. Cool. The other thing is copy. So let's add text. Let's add dollar is 1,500. Let's center it. Let's make it bold. Let's duplicate it and give it a medium size. Then we make it 14 pixels. We increase the spacing between letters. We change the name to revenue because this is the title of what is this data about. We add auto layouts, and let's make it something. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's how normal fonts behave. Let's add a 4 pixels or maybe 2 pixels space in between them on the auto layout. So I will just lower the opacity of that title to be something like 40%. And yeah, let's just duplicate the text now actually, so we can create other ones. So let's left align, let's name this option 1, and let's make it 12 because we want this to be smaller, as that's not the main stuff which we want the user to focus on. This is the big number. So we make it semi-bold and 36, and now let's add a line which will represent the data later on. So we add a line, we make it, let's make it 8 pixels away. We add auto layout, and as you can see, it has like the absolute position, so we want to remove that. I switch placements, and then I make the auto layout horizontal instead of vertical. I kind of center it in left, and then I just make this 2 pixels. I give it some rounds, edges, corners. And let's move this to something like this, 24 pixels from here. And yeah, I just duplicated that, and I'll make this $500. And then this is option 2. Cool. Yeah, let's actually make it. Yeah, something like this. Cool. So we move this down a little bit, and now we need to add the circular chart and the grid. Let's start with circular chart. So in order to achieve it, you go to ellipse, you create one inside frame, you kind of center it, and then you play with the arc. So we want it to start from here, right? And then, start from here. And then go all the way like this. Now we play with the ratio and make it smaller. And let's just give it rounded corners. So I will just duplicate it, Control D, Command D, and then I'll create an extra layer. And maybe I'll create an extra one, but this one will be empty because we're not really covering it in the data entry points. So we adjust the sweep. If you want to make sure those are aligned, you just add a rectangle basically, or you use a grid, and this will show you in a better way how to make them very aligned. So I'll make this white using 10%, and then let's just grab the same colors we've used here. So Control C, Control V, and then Control V again here, but it's not shown since the gradient is different. We all know that data must look different so users can easily distinguish between each entry. So in this case, I removed the blue color from this one, and I'll remove the white color from this gradient. So that's why this one is blue to yellow, and the other one is yellow to white to tell a better story. So I'll just duplicate the color, Control C, I'll click here on stroke, and then I'll add it. Looks like I need to adjust the colors, maybe something like this. And I'll just Control C this again, Control V, but now it's white to blue, so I'll flip the colors and I'll make the blue whites. That's why it tells me a better story. The other thing I want to do is add a line in the middle to make it look much cooler than that. I'll decrease the ratio, I'll remove the gradients, I'll make it fill white, and I'll just decrease the opacity to something like 15%. Maybe let's decrease this one even more. Yeah, so something like this. I'll move this up like that, and we need percentage on top. So I'll just duplicate to the revenue. Ouch. So Control C, Control V, center it. Let's remove the space in between characters, and let's make it 30%. Make it semi-bold. Make the fill 100%, and maybe we'll make this 16 since this is an important number. So I'll click on Command G to group it, and then I'll add auto layouts. I'll give it 4 from the bottom, 12 from the sides, and I'll make the rounded corners 20. I'll add a fill to see what we've done here, and I'll change the fill color to be a gradient again, similar to how we've done it in the background. But now you need to decrease the linear gradient, and maybe you can play with these numbers. You can add an icon. Let's make the space in between 4%. So in case you add an icon here, the space in between them will be just 4 pixels instead of that, which was at the beginning. So yeah, we're almost there, I think. Now it's missing the grid. So this grid was originally created using a plugin, but you can find tons of grids in the community, or maybe just use a plugin yourself. So usually when you add a grid, it will look something like this, but we want to play with colors to make it blend with the design. So I'll create a gradient. I'll add an extra point in the middle. The extra point at the middle needs to be 10%, and then both the ones on the edges need to be 0%. So you just play with the dots to adjust it, and then it will give you something like this. Yeah, and that's pretty much what you've done with the design originally. So yeah, maybe you adjust the one at the bottom a little bit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now the last thing is this cool God rays. So you just go to plugins and you use the noise and texture one. While selecting your whole frame, you just select God rays. You can adjust colors however you want. I'll go with black and white. And you click on add to layer, or it gets added automatically, and you can play with this different numbers here to achieve the feeling which you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.